fasting? No, you're not. Let your heart be fasting as well. Don't allow any bad things, negative things, come to your heart. About my brain and my thought. If I think of someone, I have a second thought about him or her. Behind him or her, behind his back or her back, is not that good. You don't say it, but even think about it. It is not permissible as a Muslim fasting the month of Ramadan and for your whole entire life to think of anyone negatively, whoever that one is. It doesn't matter. Work on it. So by fasting, it is not an issue of food and drink. This is, by the way, the easiest part you can do. But the real jihad, some people will be scared to death in here when I say that jihad. Struggling and striving to be good, to improve your life, to improve your relationship with people around you. This is the real meaning of jihad, by the way. But the other kind of media usage of jihad, killing and torturing, we do not have this in Islam. Have nothing to do in Islam. By struggling and striving with myself to develop a good relationship with myself first and people around me, this is the highest and the most important jihad in my life. Keep doing that. That's why it is a challenge for me as a Muslim, and I have to do it. Let me share with you a wonderful story. I read about it a couple of days ago. A journalist, British one by the name of Sarah Lauren. A few years back, she decided to go to Gaza. And we know what Gaza is, Gaza Strip in Palestine. To have a report about the life, how it's going on, and so on and so forth. And she went there during the month of Ramadan. She visited a family and trying to find out what is going on and so on and so forth. She went to the house of that family, a mom and 10 children. No furniture whatsoever in that house, if you can call it a house. It is not a house. But they are fasting the month of Ramadan. When it comes to the time they break their fasting, as we will do in a few minutes, Sarah Lauren looked around to find what kind of food the mom is going to offer to her children. She found some bread, one blade of hummus. You know what hummus is? We'll have it here in our dinner. Don't worry about it. But remember, when you eat it, remember that story of that Palestinian. And a plate of salad. A mom, 10 children. And the mom is insisting for Sarah Lauren to eat with them. And Sarah said, no way, I'm not going to eat. She said, why not? I said, I'm not going to eat. First, I'm not fasting. You are fasting. Second, there is no enough food for all of us to eat. And the mom insisted, let's eat. Blessings of God would come to this food, even if it is one piece. One bite would be okay. Reluctantly, she said, okay, I will share with you. For the first bite she had in her mouth, looking at the children eating almost from nothing, she said, I am not a Muslim, but now at that moment, I declare myself as a Muslim to suffer as you suffer and to feel as you feel. This is the way. This is the way I look at it. Because when she asked the mom, saying that, why are you fasting in the first place? You have no food. She, to feel for those who do not have food at all. We're fortunate and blessed. We have those bread and one plate of salad, one plate of hummus, we can eat it. Share with us. Since that day, Sarah Lauren defending those who are there suffering right and left. In both sides, by the way. Palestinian, Gazan, and the Israeli. She never believed that oppression and suppression would govern people's life. That's the mission has been taken upon herself in order to do something for humanity. For humanity. This is the way. We'll be indulged in a night prayer after we break our fasting with you. A couple of hours, 3 hours. So fasting during the day, hungry, thirsty, breaking our fasting with date and water, and then we'll have a wonderful meal, and then the prayer in order to tell him that we're dedicated to you and we're living by your mercy and your forgiveness. So please all of us. At that point, I would stop, but I would open the floor for your questions. The kind of questions I would love to hear from all of you, I call it always hot, burning questions. You have those questions in mind, maybe for years, and you never dared to ask those questions. Ask me. Grill me with those questions. If I do have an answer, I will answer. If not, I will tell you, let me search it and come back to you. Where would be the first hot, burning question coming from? Oh my God. People are afraid to ask that. If you don't ask questions, I will ask you questions. Yes.
Do women who are pregnant fast?
Thank you. A wonderful question. Do women, while they are pregnant, fast? God is so merciful. He never created us to suffer. He never created women to suffer. You're pregnant, you're exempted from fasting. Breastfeeding woman, you're exempted from fasting. Terminal illness, you're exempted from fasting. Traveling with a hardship, you're totally exempted. Elders, no. Children, no. If they can make it up later, they can. If they can, it is just a matter of giving away some charitable contribution to those people who are in need. Wonderful question. Thank you. Yes?
What age fasting is taught?
Age. We have no age fasting. Some kids at age of 4, they say, Mom and Dad, I'm able and capable of doing it. Some kids at age of 6 or 7. But they are obligated to start fasting and practicing Islam, all acts of Islam, once those kids reach puberty. This is the point. Before, you're not obligated. If you can do it voluntarily, do. For training or for whatever the reason is, but once you reach that age of puberty, now you are obligated to practice the religion of Islam. Yes?
On the lunar calendar, this being the longest time of the year in the northern hemisphere, when does the calendar start moving? Does it move back the other direction into the winter, or is it?
11 days in difference, and like this year, Ramadan started at the 18th of June. Next year, it would be 18 minus 11, only the mathematician.
It's going backwards.
7th of June,
Okay.
so it goes back. Until it reaches that winter time where the day is very short, very short. Yes?
What about people who work, they're hard laboring working, they're out and around, they're building,
In mines and somewhere else, they are exempted. This is their living. And again, God is just. If you cannot, don't. Yes?
Why does fasting start at 3:30? Because the sun's not up in my house.
Dawn to dusk. This is the time of the first time of the prayer for the day for Muslims. And by the way, we know the time. NASA is helping us when exactly. Okay? In the old days, it was very, very primitive ways, but they were accurate, by the way. But now NASA is really helping us. That's why we have the calendar is available, and depending on the location, like here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, northeast is totally different from somewhere else to east of us or west of us, north. or south or northeast and so on and so forth. So the calculation is done to the fraction of second. Yes. Yes.
What if you're a Muslim in Alaska?
Thank you. It's a wonderful question. They could be more, higher than Alaska. Yes, all the time. 24 hours a day, daytime. Or 24 hours a day, nighttime. Okay? How they are functioning. They sleep, say, average 8 hours a day. When? From what time to what time? And they are working regular shift. Okay? From what time to what time? And they would have a calculation. This is the time of the night, though it is not night, or this is the time of the day, and we follow that direction. Easily done. It's not that difficult. Yes?
How long have you been fasting?
How?
How long have you been fasting?
How long?
Yeah.
I always ask a tough question. I remember my parents start training me at age of 3. And I was really mad. Because my snack between breakfast and lunch was a very yummy one. I said, skip your snack. Why that? So we had that training early on at age of 3, and the 3 of us, 2 other siblings, brothers. We started this way, except the youngest one was kind of a little spoiled, I would say. He did not start, doing this till the age of 5, but that's okay. That's fine. My parents was more lenient with him till the last, and the last child, how it would be, treated and so on and so forth. But don't ask me for how many years. Otherwise you would know how old I am. I'm not going to tell you. Aisha, yes. More questions.
So what if you slip? Is it forgiveness?
Of course. That concept of forgiveness, by the way, across the Judaism, Christianity, and Islam is a wonderful concept there. We're human beings. We have our shortcomings and mistakes. Don't assume that. Don't take me as an angel. Even if I'm the imam or pastor or rabbi. We have our own shortcomings. But we're doing our best to be good. Because we are the role model. We are the leaders. Yes. Like it or not, we're here till we hear the adhan, the calling for the prayer, so we'll be breaking our fasting. So this is your time, utilize it the way you love it. Yes, Melissa.
Dr. Hamdy, will you tell us a little bit about the celebration at the end of Ramadan?
Celebration by the end of Ramadan, of course. This is really tough. 30 days and you're working so hard and you're struggling and you're striving. This is the day of your graduation, but no certificate. It's his certificate, okay, to us. And you should really celebrate this. So it is once the moon is sighted at the beginning of the following month after Ramadan, early morning, as early as you can, we gather together in a big place, either go by the mosque members or we go like in 3, 4, whatever the arrangement is. Early morning, be together and pray together and celebrate together, especially when we have our children around us. And we tell them this is the day of Eid, the day of celebration. We have accomplished something. We're very proud of ourselves. That mission we have accomplished successfully. Look at us, what we have done, and so on and so forth. The type of celebration, the prayer, early morning prayer, we're together. Our tradition in here, in Masjid Al-Iman, the Mosque of Faith, you would be happy. And you're very welcome to come and join us in this celebration. We have donuts, but no coffee. And many people are complaining, say, how come you provide, donuts and stuff? And we have varieties of sweet stuff, candy, and gifts to present to each other, spouses, friends, and to our children in particular. Like what you do on Christmas time. How much of gifts and how many of gifts and so on and so on. Very similar. Because we're celebrating a wonderful occasion. You have the rest of the day. We have, by the way, for Eid al-Fitr after Ramadan, 4 days to celebrate. But this is back home. Here, if I ask my employer for 4 days to celebrate, they get up and say, get out of here, get this door. You are not coming to us here. Only half a day if you're lucky, or a day if it is a working day, or weekdays. You have the rest of the day. Most of the time, parents, they can tell, Mall of America is the place. Go and have fun. It's a wonderful. And get together as families, close friends, visit with each other, exchange gifts and so on and so forth, share a meal together, and so on and so forth. But this is for the first day. Second day, we'll start again fasting for 60 days. For 60 days. In order to commemorate those 30 plus 6 is 36. And if I do, as a Muslim in that practice, as if I have fasted the whole year, in terms of reward from God Almighty to me. So many people will do it this way, and again having another celebration after they have done with the 60 days fasting. Okay, so it's a wonderful celebration. Winter time is hard, no doubt. It is just a prayer, and right away, Mall of America. It's covered, warm, and enjoy, and you see thousands of Muslim Day. Thanks God you have the Mall of America as the largest nationwide, or even North America. Yes. Some other people, would choose to go to Como Zoo, other zoo, and have picnics and so on and so forth, barbecuing and being together and having fun and playing and so on and so forth. It's a wonderful celebration. It is. More questions? I'm sorry. Yes?
I think Tamara answered this a little bit for me, but from what you have observed, do men and women have very different experiences of Ramadan?
Men and women.
Men and women. I mean, I'm sure there are certain things that men do and that women do. Is the experience the same?
Simply, I have to acknowledge it. Though some people do not agree with me, you women, you're the essence of the whole universe. Don't get mad at me, men. They are, like it or not. They carry us in their belly for 9 months, breastfeeded us a couple of years, taking care of us for so many years. Even during the night, the husband and wife, are sleeping in their room and the baby there, and the baby is crying, needs something. Even if the mom, she's taking care of the baby, no doubt about it. And the husband, most of the time, forgive me to say that, if he's up, he's pretending he's sleeping. And he'll go, baby's crying, go. And taking care of a lot of things around, it would add more difficulties and more challenges. So you have to be, as a husband, very, very considerate. Can you imagine in a day of Ramadan, and I love to have a wonderful meal by the end of the day? I don't cook it as a husband, but who does? What a thing? Who? She. Yet, think of how God Almighty created you with a wonderful ability and capabilities of things and characteristics, you can survive difficult times, difficult things, challenges in your life. And that's why he's helping out. Cannot be in my calculation as a human being, but in his calculation as God, the Creator, he provides a lot of strength and ability and capability and patience, and you name it, you name it. I was with my wife, in her 3 pregnancy, giving birth to our 3 children. I decided, that's how she appreciates so much. I was thinking, 9 months, and now it is the contraction, and the baby is coming. I say, what's happening? What's going on? You can read and you can feel the pain, but oh my God, once that baby out, you see that big smile there, and the happiness, everything. I say, what's going on? What's happening in here? Look at her a second ago and look at her now. How it happened simply. This is not my human loss. It's God's loss who's helping. That's why we have to be very, very, men, husband, very appreciative for what our sisters, our wives have been doing in this life. Yes. Thank you, God. A man is asking a question. It means he's not mad at me. Thank you.
Or he's happy with his wife.
You said you don't cook and your wife cook. Why?
Wallahi, I swear by God, and ask her, she's here, and this is my son, another witness, and this is his wife. I help a lot. I help a lot. Right, my son? Oh my God. Oh my God. Hello? In the kitchen. In the kitchen. I do my best. I'm not saying that I do a lot. Can I tell you something? Or sorry, this point. She cooked for you today wave leaves, rice stuff. I'm not going to say anything about it, but ask her who helped. Yes, yes.
Let's get to a tough one.
Please,
All right.
please.
Over the years that you have been here in the cities and in the states, through your programs and in leading mosques and things, you have done such a marvelous job in seeing the relationships between all faiths coming together and cooperating. But we cycle through those times of tensions. And how have we all been doing lately when it comes to faith and the tensions that we feel in the city?
Thank you. It's a wonderful question, Reverend.